doing the formation lap once again. It was like a red flag.
Amel will have to pit.
Alright, I'm just currently choosing the details. Oh, Amel is starting with the mediums, alright. Yeah, he will need to pit. Otherwise, he will have a full 20-second time penalty from the stewards, automatic, without any further questions. Alright, yeah, Amel Inzaghi has just noted the the message.
And as Chappie Cho and BVB have come together.
Yep, I have noted that as well. Unfortunate, of course, they will start with freezing tires. Of course, probably BVB has gone into Chappie, from what I can note, because Chappie is currently in P11, BVB in P12. So possibly BVB has hit Chappie from the back. But yeah, we will need to wait and see after the race. But yeah, I mean, looking forward to this, and it's going to be very interesting. Of course, we had to restart the race. From a positive point of view, we are now 14 drivers and not just 12, because Zeus had his game lagged off, unfortunately. But at least Council Wizard, BVB Ghost, and Sumi will be in the race as well. So some hope for the guys as well. So let's see.
Well, all the drivers form up now.
Yep, let's see.
Well, depending on his start, Siegs9 will at least have first place come the end of the lap due to his rival starting on the wrong tyres.
And here we go, guys, with the 5 lights out. Nigel having a very good start right there, going straight into P3. Into first corner, also getting into almost P2, battling with Tom Gray. And Siegs9 flashes away into that first Senna S. He's currently almost 1 second ahead of Nigel, but Nigel, blistering start from him, going straight into P2 and now competing against Siegs9.
Amel has dropped all the way down into 5th, as Tommy's right up behind him in 6th, starting 10th. But Amel will have to pit at the end of the lap, don't forget, due to that wrong tyre choice.
Yep, he will pit at the end of the lap, but I think it's the disadvantage currently. Oh, and he has just spun out as well, so he will definitely need to
corner cut and hit Chappie, it seems. And Amel's gone round, don't know if that's because of Shumi or not. But clearly a racial controversy already.
Yeah, and I'm seeing Amel Inzaghi literally spinning out on those sizzling hot tires right now. They're cooked for sure, unfortunately, and he will have to pit. So the day is getting worse and worse for Amel Inzaghi, unfortunately. But if there will be a safety car, maybe he could gain that all back. But I'm noticing Amel Inzaghi is literally sliding everywhere. And of course the tires are very hot. I am expecting that. Hopefully he will maintain the temperatures, but they seem to be very hot. He's still going into the last corner, so that's how hot it is.
Well, in the background, the rest of the drivers now coming through sector 2, as Siegs9 is still leading away from Nigel and his teammate Tom, as Gunzek is falling behind a bit, as so far Tommy has jumped up 5 places and has taken massive advantage of everyone below him either having bad starts or just spinning round in the case of Amel.
Yeah, I have been following Tommy for the last months, and I believe he's one driver that, if I had to say anything about him, is one of the drivers that most improved during the course of this game.
Nigel's got up the inside of CX9 down the straight, and he's made the move before the first corner and before the centre
Lovely,
S's.
lovely, lovely stuff from Nigel. He has already compensated for that crash, and hopefully
But
he doesn't.
CX9 now will have DRS.
Yeah, he's
Goes
following
into
Nigel. Ooh, but he has just left just enough space for CX9 to go in from the outside. Of course, CX9 is playing the long game right now.
And behind, 6th down to 8th, 9th even. Are just absolutely battling away. They're all just battling and trying to get place off each other.
Yeah, there's Wu Strider trying to hold off everybody else. There's King's Copper following him. He was side by side. And there's BVB Ghost, Council Wizard, and Strong Sauce in P7, P8, P9, and P10 respectively.
But now, down the straight, both Alfa Romeo cars will have DRS as well as Gunzek of the Aston Martin. So clearly it'll be a long drag race down the straight. And CX9 just can't get close enough.
Yeah, Nigel has that straight line speed. Nigel has that good straight line speed. But now CX9 is closer to Nigel than ever before. Yeah, so let's see. Nigel weaving to the right. He's keeping that position, and CX9 is playing the long game right now. CX9 playing the long game. He's making Nigel use a lot of ERS. In fact, Nigel only has 20% ERS left, while CX9 has 92%, almost 100. So this is gonna be very, very good for CX9 at the moment. Advantage CX9 at the moment. Of course, he will eventually overtake Nigel, and Nigel will need to follow because of his low ERS level. There's also Tom Gray with 94% ERS as well, so doesn't look really good to Nigel at the moment, but we will need to wait and see.
Well, both the Alfa Romeo cars clearly taking advantage of that ERS harvesting, as Nigel's teammate Amel gets a fastest lap due to his fresh soft tyres, and now CX9.
Yeah, he's still following Nigel. He's playing the long game. He's making Nigel use that ERS right now.
He chose not to use neither ERS nor DRS down that last straight, so
yeah. He's still playing the long game, yeah. He's playing the long game.
He's trying to force Nigel into making a mistake at some point, it seems.
Yeah, could be. I mean, it's an option.
But, I mean, he has his teammate just behind him, so clearly they can pull off any strategy they care.
Yeah, this is the important thing, why you will need your teammate, you know. Currently, Tom Gray is in the best position, even for CX9, to make any strategy call in any lap possible to constitute to a trigger to Nigel and the rest of the grid.
And now it seems that CX9 is going on a long push. He's used some of his ERS. And it seems that he'll try to get Nigel down the straight.
Yep, and he will be
slid past him up the inside, doing the exact same thing that Nigel did. Oh, Nigel outbroke himself and taps the rear end of CX9. And now he's gonna have to fight off Tom. Yeah. There's Gunzet now coming in behind. Nigel now.
Very, very close.
He comes across Tom Gray there. He's gone very wide. And now, Gunzek up the inside, trying to come up the inside of Tom. And he'll have the outside line around the next corner. But Tom's held him off effectively.
Yeah.
And Nigel there, maybe a little too aggressive on Tom.
If I had to take my take, I was on board on both drivers. Nigel literally turned in to Tom Gray, and Tom Gray, of course, he backed off, but it was very, very aggressive from Nigel, who went off track, literally off track, in order to keep that speed going on. And yeah, we will need to wait and see. Nigel is still on the DRS, just about, I think, of CX9. Yep, he's just about on the DRS. And Tom Gray, I think he's not using DRS, he's still following Nigel towards that P2. He's playing the long game as well, just like CX9 did.
For CX9 it worked out as he eventually was able to get past Nigel on the straight. So clearly they're doing something right. I mean, there's now just roughly the same amount of gap between each top three, well, top four driver even, with each between 6 and 5 seconds away from each other.
Yeah, I'm currently also on board with Swoosh Strider and Council Wizard, who are both battling P6, and they are slowly joining in the battle of the top 5.
Well, it's more of a battle between top 4 currently. Is Tommy's still some way off, but the top 3 now, closer than ever, has come a lap later. Nigel is now 4 tenths behind Siegs9.
Yeah.
And now we'll see whether Nigel will try to make a move down the straight.
Siegs9 is not using any ERS, and so is Nigel. They are both not using ERS. Tom Gray is still following the guys as well. And Nigel switches back into P1 again. So they are all playing the long game right now. They are harvesting ERS if they can, in order to have enough ERS for the rest of the race. And in the meantime, there's Siegs9 trying again. Siegs9 trying again into turn 4. And Verstappen versus Hamilton thing. Ooh, and he makes that overtake. Lovely, lovely stuff.
A little bit of argy-bargy, but he's made his way past, stuck his elbows out, and Nigel now will have to settle behind him again for the rest of the lap. And we'll have to try again to get past on the straight.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long and intense battle. And I'm noticing that Swoosh Strider has just made the overtake over Tommy. Currently in P5, he's still 1.4 seconds away from Gunsak, so he won't have DRS probably if he doesn't manage within the last corner. And, and Gunsak has just crashed out. Ooh, definitely a safety car. It would definitely be a safety car. There's a VSC
now,
and Swoosh Strider will be going in the pits. Swoosh
full
Strider
safety car
and full safety car. Ooh.
If commentators curse.
Yeah.
What happened is Gunzek put too much of his wheel onto the final curb, and he's lost control of the car and just ultimately just spun out.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just mentioning Swoosh Strider, who was slowly gaining on Gunsak, but he lost the car slightly, but he grabbed it back again. And at the same time, there was Gunsak losing the car completely. At exactly the same time while I was mentioning Swoosh Strider. So almost the commentator scares upon Swoosh Strider, but unlucky for Gunsak, who was keeping up with the top 3 drivers as well. But if I have to mention something, the real winners right now are Cairo Racing, Chappie Cho and Amel Inzaghi, who are now back into contention.
What I believe are the real winners are people who are fighting for that 6th to 9th, as now they've had the opportunity to pit before the top runners, and will, if they get round quick enough, will be able to steal first, second and third. Yeah,
and Tommy has just received a drive-through penalty for driving too hard under the safety car conditions. So that's unlucky for Tommy TC. I'm currently on board with Nigel. Nigel has stayed out. But Siegs9 has gone into the pits for the mediums. Swoosh Strider as well. But Swoosh Strider... Oh, there's going to be a battle at the end. There's going to be a battle. Swoosh Strider coming out of the turn at the same time as Tom Gray. And Tom Gray ends up in P4. Swoosh Strider being the first to pit as soon as the safety car was called on, and he is now in P3. He was once in P6. So this is the great thing of the safety car, pitting at the right time, at the right place for Swoosh Strider. He's currently in P3, Siegs9's in P2. He retained his position, I think, and Nigel in P1. He remained out on those 9-lap-old soft tires, so he is hoping for another safety car in order to make the tire change. Although, statistically speaking, it is going to be a hard race for Nigel. He will need to really push the car to the limits in order to make it work. Siegs9 might not pit in the end. Oh, I'm noticing Amel Inzaghi is a lapped car.
Yeah, well, clearly he pitted again.
Yeah.
So, but now he won't. I don't think he'll be able to get back and unlap himself due to all the cars coming up.
Oh, that's very, 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 very unlucky. If I was himself, I wouldn't pit on the first lap, for sure. Just to ensure that I'm not lapped. But I think, of course, during the... not just the heat of the moment, you just need to make split decision making. And split second decision making, my apologies. And of course, his split decision making was to pit again instantly. And that ended up him being lapped by Nigel because Nigel didn't pit. If Nigel pitted, probably he would have gone easily off the safety car. But yeah, things happen, things happen. It's unfortunate. Of course, Amel Inzaghi, I think he would try his best to re-overtake Nigel and ensure another safety car happens.
Well, Nigel now not having the benefit of a teammate to help him out compared to CX9.
Yep, that would be the case. Of course, Amel Inzaghi will have little time to ensure that he tries to get the overtake over Nigel as quickly as possible, because if he stays too long there, he would need to eventually let the other drivers pass him. So, yep, we will need to wait and see.
Safety car in this lap.
Yeah,
so
safety
clearly,
car in this lap.
As we look at the drivers who have penalties, with Tommy with a drive-through, Council Wizard with 3 and Schumer with 13 seconds worth.
Yeah, so the drivers are bunching up. Only 13 drivers remain, of course, out of 14 drivers. We were 15, Zeus had the game lagged off. But anyway, we will go again with 13 drivers remaining. Amel Inzaghi is letting CX9 pass, of course. And all the remainder of the drivers, I think, yep, he is letting them pass again. That's so unfortunate for Amel Inzaghi for his first race. But that was respectable from the guy. But now we have Nigel with those 11 lap old soft tires, followed by CX9, who is almost 1 second away. So Nigel is trying his best to pull off that 1 second gap despite having 11 lap old soft tires. It's going to be hard, but it's still possible at the moment. The soft tires are still not literally falling off the cliff. But we will need to wait and see.
Well, Tom Green now trying to close. He's right over back of Swiss Strider, as Nigel is still on those 11 lap old softs. So,
and Tom Gray, you have just mentioned him. He has just spun out of the last turn.
Oh, in the same place Gunzek span out, but the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And now commentator's curse has got to him, as CX9 no longer has his teammate to help him out, just like Nigel. So it looks like now it will be a battle between Nigel, CX9 and even BBB and Tommy.
Yeah. Let's see. CX9 is still going strong following Nigel. He still has high ERS, while Nigel has slightly lower ERS on 50%. But it's still very possible. The battle is still there, 100% there. You can do anything when it comes to the strategy. Of course, the relatively early safety car caused the drivers to pit. They might go for another stop, they might not. Of course, the medium tires can last long as well. I reckon that they can last between 26 to 30 laps if you are a very good tire saver. So it is possible that you can finish with the mediums. Of course, you would need to be very, very cautious at the end. But yeah, we will need to wait and see. Nigel is hoping for another safety car at the moment, for sure. He has just pulled off the 1 second gap. I'm noticing.
No, Tommy pits on those 3 lap old mediums as something happened, as he's coming to the pits now.
Yep, I think he's serving his drive-through penalty because there are.
He's serving the drive-through penalty, of course.
Yeah. Unfortunate for the guy, but yep, had to be done. And otherwise, he would have been disqualified.
Well, Nigel now has pulled off a 1 second gap on those old softs of his. So clearly he's done something right. Oh, and Schumi's out. Schumi's
Ooh,
rounded out.
yeah, and
He's
definitely a
caused another
safety car.
safety car.
If I was Amel Inzaghi, I wouldn't pit. I hope he's listening to me. Don't pit, please don't pit. Probably the rest of the grid might pit. I don't know. But
Nigel definitely will.
definitely Nigel will pit. He will pit. It's the best time for him to pit. It's the best time for him to pit.
He's been given a lifeline, it seems. And so now he will pit from those old 13 lap softs, while CX9, Swoosh, BBB and almost everyone will go past him. But due to the safety car, everyone will be bunched right up, so he's not losing much really.
Yeah, he's not losing much, but he technically lost a lot of positions. He could have pitted in the first safety car. So that's the opportunity cost from the first safety car to the second safety car being exactly right after each other. I think we were only like 3 laps later after the safety car. So currently advantage to CX9 and Sue Strider and his team and BVB Ghost now. So now the Ferrari drivers are in a good position.
Every driver who pitted during the first safety car was in a better position really.
Yeah.
So
100%. They are currently saving the tires, and if I may, guys, please keep that 1 second safety car gap. I'm noticing a few drivers not obeying that.
BBB Ghost.
Yeah. I hope he's listening to the stream now. He's keeping that 1 second gap. Council Wizard, if you're listening, 1 second gap, please. 1 second gap. There's Tommy TC, who is not keeping that 1 second gap at the moment, but of course now he has just heard me. Perfect. Alright, Swoo Strider. Very, very close. Keep that 1 second gap, please. 1 second gap. Perfect. BVB Ghost, same for you again. Please keep that 1 second gap. So, one last reminder, keep that 1 second safety car gap all the time, except when the safety car is coming in. That would be the time when you can, guys, bunch up again and try not to hit each other, because you will get additional 5 second time penalty from the admins if you are found guilty. If you are not guilty, you might get that 5 second time penalty removed. But yeah, try to keep that 1 second gap and we should have no further penalties. Of course, BVB Ghost, I don't think he will get reported by his teammate, but you'll never know. BVB Ghost, please keep that 1 second gap. So that's it from my end, and yeah, we will need to wait and see. We have King's Copper, who has remained on 4 lap soft tires. He's the only guy on the softs at the moment. I think he's hoping for another safety car or something.
Well, we've got admin like admin, both like that 1 second gap. But BVB Ghost is basically on Swoosh Strider's gearbox. And
Yep.
same for Council Wizard. Lovely. Well, clearly people don't like the 1 second gap and have decided that rules don't apply to them.
Yeah.
And have decided that they will take any time they want and will be right on their opponent's gearbox.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but yeah, we move on, and of course we will see that after the race. Alright, so maybe the safety car is going in this lap, maybe not. Yep, it's in this lap. So I'm noticing that in the Brazil track, it's only going around 2 laps.
Which is good, because we don't want millions of laps, so it's just safety car and safety car and safety car.
That's true, that's true. So CX9 is currently maintaining the pace, trying to take as long as possible to slow the drivers down and try to outsmart them when it comes to the throttle. He's still swerving around, keeping the same speed, and now he has just started. Swoo Strider in P2, trying his best to follow up. He has just managed. BVB Ghost as well in P3. Council Wizard in P4, followed by King's Copper in P5, and made a slight touch with Council Wizard. And we have yellow flags already.
It's probably due to Amel letting everyone past. He's just slowed down enough to let everyone go past him.
Yeah,
and
that's unlucky from Amel Inzaghi again.
Well, it seems that now, absolutely nobody as BB Ghost slips down the order
Ooh, yeah, I'm
as
noticing.
Kingscope and Council Wizard both gain places due to it. So now Swiss Strider's teammate now out of the equation, it seems,
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
as Nigel and Tom Gray will have to make up a massive amount of progress to get back up to where they were previously before their spins and pits.
Yeah. Let's see, let's see.
But CX9 now will try to build a gap so that when DRS does get enabled, the driver behind doesn't have it.
Yeah. I mean, he has already pulled off the 1 second gap between CX9 and Swoosh Strider. They are very close to 1 second gap, and I'm noticing Tom Gray making the overtake over Tommy. So currently Tom Gray P9 and Nigel already in P8 trying to make that comeback for him. I am sure that he will not pit again, but let's see. He is also making the overtake to Chappie Cho, so he is up into P7. So yeah, it's going to be a very, very good race, and if there won't be another safety car, because CX9 has 7 lap old mediums, while there's Nigel with only 2 lap old mediums, so the tire difference should be there by the end of the race.
Well, we'll now see how this will affect all the drivers come the last few laps, because it's half race distance now, as CX9 has already built almost a 2 second gap over Swiss Strider, and Council Wizard is just following behind Swiss Strider, trying to get within, well, keep within a second as the DRS has been enabled.
Yeah.
And coming down the straight, most drivers will have DRS on the car in front. It'll be entertaining to see what moves will be made.
I think the only 2 drivers who don't have the DRS right now is Swoosh Strider and CX9. Everybody else have the DRS, and Amel Inzaghi, of course.
Yeah. Well,
unless he is within the 1 second of strong sauce, of course, despite being lapped.
Little wobble there from Council Wizard as the drivers come through sector 2 now. CX9 just constantly building and building that gap to Swoosh Strider, who will be hoping that this gap will be big enough to offset the difference between his and Nigel's tyres.
Yeah, I recall that the medium tyres are a very reliable set of tyres, so I don't expect CX9 to be pitting again during the rest of the race, but we will need to wait and see. And BVB Ghost makes the overtake over King's Copper, who is
as
now
Tom
in
Gray
P5.
overtakes Shapper. Both Red Bulls getting overtaken on the straight as Strong Sauce gets past Tommy.
I believe that they are playing the long game. Probably they might pit again or something of the sort, because Chappie has 10 lap old mediums.
King Scope there tried to force it down the inside of BVB Ghost.
And I'm noticing Nigel's car is either disconnected or glitching everywhere.
Nigel's disconnected. He's left the session. But what had happened is Cairo tried to go down, King Scope tried to go down the inside of BBB Ghost. I don't think noticing that Cairo was alongside, and so he sent BBB Ghost in himself wide, with Cairo gaining both places. BBB Ghost will not be very happy as Nigel is disconnected, so all the drivers behind, I assume, will be absolutely fuming.
Yeah, I'm trying to resend Nigel an invite if it's possible. Let me see quickly.
Nigel got blue screened. Nigel got a blue screen error from PlayStation, so clearly something's happened as everyone overtakes his AI. I'm sure everyone will be absolutely annoyed.
Oh, that's so unlucky for Nigel. I'm trying to resend him an invite, but I'm noticing the rest of the grid is literally trying to ensure that they overtake him as quickly as possible before he rejoins back.
Yeah, well, this is now their chance to gain a place and offset their rivals.
Yeah, it would be the best time. I re-invited Nigel twice, maybe he can rejoin. Maybe he's trying to turn off the PS and he's turning it on again. It's unfortunate, connection problems happens.
Sorry to be rude, but in the background, Council was overtaking Swoosh, and Swoosh tried now on the straight. He's trying to go around the outside, but going into the centre's S's, Council Wizard has kept his place, and down the secondary straight, Swoosh Strider will have DRS, so remains to be seen whether he can take the place.
Yep, he's still following, and he's trying to make the overtake. Very close.
Maneuver. And he's going around the outside. Does he go through the corner now? Council Wizard's kept his place, but it might not be for long. He's kept the outside line, Swoosh. Council Wizard's gone deep, and he's kept the place. Some brilliant side-by-side racing there between the two as Nigel's rejoined. And this little battle has allowed Cairo, Kingscope and BBB all to close up.
Yeah, it was an intense, clean battle. I loved it. I was on board on Council Wizard, turning on the cameras where Swoosh Strider was, and it was an intense, nice battle between themselves. Council Wizard currently in P2, he has some time penalty to serve. Swoosh Strider currently in P3 and he's using the Joker, so it would be big points for Swoosh Strider, the Ferrari driver. And he's still following Council Wizard, trying to make the switch back somewhere and try to make the overtake. As Cairo Racing is following also Swoosh Strider. It's going to be an intense one, going into the corner.
Around. Swoosh Strider around the outside, he's made contact. Oh!
And that was like a bowling.
Kingscope also round. But what happened is Swoosh Strider touched the rear end of Council Wizard and went round and not only hit Cairo Wizard, breaking his wing, but also hit Kingscope and broke part of his wing. So he's caused mass chaos with his spin, and it's gone horribly for all the drivers who've used their Joker, as one's been lapped, one's just span out, one didn't even get to race, and the final one, Tom, is in fourth. So clearly the Joker users not having a good race.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, so unfortunate. I'm noticing Council Wizard is going into the pits. I don't think that he's in the pits because he has damage, but he will change the tires. Yep, he will change to the soft tires. Of course, Swoosh Strider is pitting, as well as Cairo Racing. So unfortunate, but race is still long. There's still 12 laps to go. In the meantime, CX9 is like rubbing his hands right now, saying, yeah, that's what I want, that's what I want. Nigel disconnected, Swoosh Strider having damage, you know, BVB Ghost is still like 5 seconds away, and my teammate Tom Gray is in P3, so he can help me, you know, that kind of stuff. So CX9 currently rubbing his hands right now.
He's having, and he's done a brilliant race so far, and now everything's started to play it back into his hands. As he's one massive rival in Nigel, disconnected, and is now way down the order. And now as he comes into the pits now.
Ooh, it's gonna be interesting.
Decision.
Yeah, but, if it was me, I would have stayed out till the end, 100%, and I would expect a sort of another safety car so that I could change back into the softs when the safety car happens. But yeah, it's CX9's decision. In the meantime, there's Tom Gray with only 9 lap old medium, so I'm expecting Tom Gray to finish the race on those tires. And if I don't jinx him, he is also a guy that is using the Joker right now.
He is indeed. As CX9 just about comes out behind Kingscope, but Kingscope lets him pass. And now we have to hunt down the man who he qualified ahead of. And the man who's been his main rival throughout this race, Nigel. It'll be interesting to see what this little tussle will bring for the rest of the race.
Yeah, let's see. It's going to be interesting to note, of course. CX9 having the freshest tires in the grid. Currently in P7, he will gain a lot of time in the next 5 laps, of course, after which it will be normalized, but he will gain a lot during the 5 laps. Easily he can gain around 8 to 10 seconds from the drivers in front of him, and that would mean he could go easily into P4, beyond which depends then on the tire temperatures whether he outpasses the rest of the grid.
As Chappie Cho now trying to go past Tommy. Tommy's gone really deep and he's gone wide. Chappie Cho now has slid up the inside and has stolen 4th place. On us, both of them now on 16 lap old mediums.
Ooh.
So mediums that have took a lot of wear and tear. So it'll be interesting to see whether they can stretch these to the end.
Yeah, let's see, let's wait and see. I'm noticing that King's Copper has 14 lap old softs and he has started with the softs as well. So I'm thinking that unless he has pitted for mediums at any point during the race, he will need to pit again.
Well, CX9 has closed right up to the back of Nigel. And now he'll try and make the move before the centre S's. And he's just zoomed past Nigel with DRS and fresher, much faster tyres. As in comparison to Nigel, he has 10 laps younger tyres. And will now just zoom away from Nigel, who even with DRS can't close that much. As Tommy's re-overtaken Chappie. As Kingscope pits off those old soft tyres.
And he's using another fresh soft tires. I think I'm not sure whether he started on the mediums or otherwise for King's Cup. I'm not sure. I will need to check.
Well, he's made 3 stops, so I assume he has.
Alright, yeah, probably during the first safety car then he has gone on the mediums and probably he went back into the softs. So, alright, that's problem sorted.
CX9 now, having already caught up to Chappie and Tommy, will now try and get around the outside of Chappie Cho, which he has done extremely easily. As Chappie pits off for 70 lap old mediums, as Tommy ahead on 18 lap old mediums. As Tom Green now is right up close to BBB Ghost. So clearly the Alfa Romeos both making moves. As CX9 looks at the inside of Tommy. Tommy goes wide. Oh!
That was gonna be a dangerous rejoin to the track, and Tommy, he realized what he was gonna do and literally then moved out of the way again to let CX9 pass. So that was a close one, but yeah.
It seemed like Tommy was spinning, and it seemed like he just stamped on the brakes in order to make sure that he didn't hit CX9. Oh, Nigel's out! What has happened to Nigel? And a very, very uncommon corner, a very awkward corner, and he's out. What has happened there?
I think he was about to re-overtake his teammate, but somehow I think it didn't work out well. I'm not sure, I wasn't on board on the guys. There's still double yellow flags, no safety car whatsoever at the moment, so I believe that guys like BVB Ghost is crying for a safety car right now, but it didn't happen. It just we are still green flags again.
Well, Tom Green now has used that opportunity to overtake BVB Ghost and is now up in first, as the top 3 all on very old medium tyres, while CX9 now is closing up by over a second a lap.
Yeah.
So clearly CX9 putting in the work to make sure that he will end up this race on top.
Yeah, and he has guys like Nigel, Amel Inzaghi, Swoosh Strider, fast guys who are currently not as close as he is towards the top step. Tom Gray is of course his teammate, but also a very fast driver as well. So maybe his teammate is his own rival right now, but still a long way to go. Not just long way, but 6 laps to go. Anything can happen, but we will need to wait and see. Of course, if a safety car happens, it would be advantage CX9. Of course, advantage for the rest of the grid, but of course CX9 is very close to the top. So, yep, it would be advantage CX9. But let's see, we still have 6 laps to go.
Well, CX9 now is close by over 2 seconds in the last few laps, and now is under 3 seconds away from strong source, as all 3 drivers at the top all just try to massage those old mediums to try and extend them and make them last till the end.
Yeah.
Could be in for a very interesting finale.
Yeah, if I was PvP Ghost or Strong Sauce or Tom Gray, I would have done just the same. I wouldn't have, if I was 6-9, I wouldn't have pitted again. But 6-9 likes to take the risk. He's that kind of driver who is very aggressive on the tires. So yeah, it could end up well, but this is Brazil, you know, it takes time to make the...
Well, CX9 now, a man on a mission to try and close up towards the top 3, as Tommy re-overtakes Chappie, coming through the centre's S's.
Slowly, I'm noticing that Amel Inzaghi is now in P11. If another driver DNFs, he is surely within the points.
As long as it's not on the last lap, that is.
If he completes 90% of the race, of course he will be... Oh, and we have a spinner.
Oh, and I think that's... Council Wizard, yeah.
Yeah.
Council Wizard.
Yeah, Council. Yeah, Council, yeah.
And CX9 now just over a second away from Strong Sauce in the top 3.
Yeah,
So,
Strong Sauce doesn't have DRS. Strong Sauce doesn't have DRS right now. So he will be really struggling. He needs to keep up with the rest of the guys if he has to defend from CX9, who is coming very strong against Strong Sauce. Of course, as the laps go by, CX9's tires will be weaker and weaker, but yet still better than those 18 or 21 lap old medium tires at the moment of Strong Sauce and the BVB Ghost.
as now CX9 is now within DRS range of Strong Sauce. So he's closed up massively in the last few laps, and now we'll be able to use DRS on Strong Sauce to just glide past him, hopefully, on the straights.
Yeah.
As they come down the main straight now, DRS wide open, and we'll see CX9 overtake Strong Sauce. Yes, he will. Cleanly up the inside, as he's now got to close up to the top 2 with BBB Ghost on those 22 lap old mediums and Tom Gree's teammate.
Yeah, I hope that CX9 is in a party with Tom Gray, and maybe Tom Gray is telling him, please ensure that you keep P2 because I have the Joker to use.
Yeah, well, clearly some strategy will be at play, as already CX9 is within a second of BBB Ghost and come the straight. I don't think BBB Ghost will be able to, as Tommy in the background overtakes his teammate who spun just a couple laps ago.
Yeah, Tommy is doing a good race. I hope I don't jinx him, so I'm just gonna move on to Strong Sauce.
As
And
Council
I'm
Wizard
noticing...
goes slightly wide and has allowed Chappie through.
Alright, I'm noticing that CX9 is using all the ERS right now to make the overtake over BVB Ghost. He's getting closer and closer towards the Senna S's, and he brakes slightly late and he makes the overtake on those fresher soft tires. So now he's in P2, he's following Tom Gray. Tom Gray, he doesn't have ERS left. And Tom Gray seems that he's going to defend the place at the moment.
There's
So-
only 3 laps left, so it'll be interesting to see whether Tom Greaves can keep his first place or whether CX9 will be taking it.
And Damel Inzaghi has just pipped off the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 8.0, almost flat out. If somebody has the NFs, he would get P10, an extra point, and the Joker used. So that would be 3 points for Amel Inzaghi. Unfortunate for the guy, of course, who had to pit after lap 1 because of the incorrect tires used. But yeah, we will need to wait and see. Only 2 laps left, and the Alfa Romeo drivers are in P1, P2. He seems that he's not using ERS yet, but he seems that he's going to make the overtake nevertheless. He's still following
No.
Tom Gray.
It seems that Tom will be keeping that win. It seems as CX9 started to back off.
No, he's
Tom
using
Greaves
it.
letting him through. So clearly they've agreed something here.
Ooh.
As Tom Greaves now let CX9 through as Swiss Strider overtakes Council Wizard.
Yeah,
But clearly,
I think it's damage limitation from Tom Gray, given that he has 19 lap old mediums. If he keeps P2, double the points, not too bad either.
so clearly the drivers having agreed something. And
I'm
will
hoping
now-
they did. I'm hoping they did. Because
And
of
what,
course
is it
getting double the
forced-
points with 25 points is better than getting double the points with 18 points. But let's see.
Well, we're coming on to the final lap now. And Tom, we got CX9 in first, his teammate Tom Gray in second, with BBB in third. Strong Sauce, the Alpine in fourth, with Tommy and Chappie behind in fifth and sixth. Swoosh in seventh, with Council Wizard in eighth, as Cairo and Kingscope round out the top 10, with Amel behind the lap car. Shame for him, really.
Yeah, but he has the fastest lap, so at least he has something to say and to prove to the remainder of the Division 1 drivers that the wrong tire choice was just a mistake. Unfortunate mistake, but he will get stronger in the next track for sure. But let's see, I mean, the first 3 are still within a second. 6-9, he's keeping, I think he's doing his best to keep Tom Gray within the 1 second. Because at the moment, Tom Gray has just lost out to the 1 second. 6-9 is still, I think, helping out Tom Gray. He's still very, very close. Tom Gray is still very close. 6-9 is still using all the DRS. Maybe he's not letting him by. But as we are finishing the race right now, 6-9 takes the first place, Tom Gray in P2 and BVB Ghost in P3.
Strong Sauce P4, and Tommy will lose out all the way down to possibly, well, yeah, 7th, as he has 3 seconds worth of time penalties. While
let's see
so's
his goal.
behind, as Chapek finishes 5th, Swoosh Rider 6th, Tommy in 7th with Cairo 8th, Council 9th and Kingscope 10th. And Amel rides out the grid in 11th, having been a lap down for most of the race.
Yeah, unfortunate for the guy, but respect for the guy just the same, because if it was me, I think I would have retired somewhere, literally. But GG for Amel Inzaghi as well, for keeping up, trying to hope for, you know, P10 for another car to crash or something. But yep, the picture is all about 6-9 and Tom Gray, the Alfa Romeo drivers, who have pipped up P1 and P2, followed by BVB Ghost, who has also done a very good race in P3 on those very old medium tires. He made the strategy work, and GG to BVB Ghost as well. Well done to them.
Both Alfa Romeo drivers having made brilliant decisions.
Yep,
And-
lovely stuff.
And if they work together as a team, well, why did I have to get taken out? Would have got a podium. As we finish the race with CX9 and Tom Gray, the 2 Alfa Romeos, 1 and 2. BB Ghost having started 12th and joining late, not qualifying, in third and final podium position. Strong Sauce are doing to reserve in fourth, with Chappie and Swoosh Strider fifth and sixth. Tommy another reserve in seventh, with Cairo, Council and Kingscope rounding out the top 10, and Amel behind the 11th, sadly a lap behind after such a good qualifying session.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree more with that. It was a good race, unfortunate for some drivers, a couple of safety cars. I think there were 2 safety cars, not too bad, but yeah, given the attendance, 15 drivers, one of them had to go because he ended up legged out. So with 14 drivers, we ended up with 11. Only 3 drivers DNF'd technically, so well done to the drivers. And I think that would be it when it comes to the Division 1 Delta Pace Racing in Brazil. The next race will be in France. It will also be a very, very interesting race. So hard to cause a safety car there. So I would expect a very interesting race in that track as well.
Yeah, well, France is a track known for not its most exciting races, so